Hi everyone, this is the part 3 of the 5-part masterclass Billionaire Ignition. Let's go. Today, this time I'll be going live both on Instagram and YouTube and stream both ways. This is the third stream of my day. Oh my god, there's so much going on. I have to check the software, I have to check the audio, I have to check the video, and I'll be replying to the comments or text here as well, chat as well. But this is one of my most favorite parts of the masterclass. It's about goals. It's about hi Manas. How are you, sir? How are you? This is the third part of my stream. This is the third stream of my day. In this stream, I'll be talking about goals and why you deserve to set the biggest goals that you can, and how you can achieve them, and how you who you're not is stopping you more from achieving your goals than who you think you are. So this is super amazing. I'll upload this stream both on Instagram, and I'll upload this YouTube stream on YouTube later as well. So if you guys have any queries, you would comment down there as well. I would love to see your comments, and I'm super excited for the masterclass. So let's begin. Up till now, in the first class and in the first part and the second part, we have talked about who we are and understood our reality, our truth as awareness, and how everything that exists out there is sort of imagination made manifest. We control our realities. We are not governed by that. We have emotional control over our lives. We know that there's a space between what happens and how and what we are, and in that space we can choose how we want to live and how we don't want to live. And we have also understood so far that this power that of awareness that we are is the foundational power, foundational creative power of this world. We become what we think about. Whatever is imagination made manifest. Whatever is your consciousness made manifest. So how do we use that into our daily lives? Then in the second part we understood in paradigms that paradigms is a multitude of ideas. Paradigm is a program that controls our behavior almost exclusively, has exclusive control over 95 to 98% of our behaviors. We act according to our paradigms. We think we act on our own will, but we only consciously control 2 to 3% of our daily actions. 95 to 98% of our actions are controlled by our paradigms. How is that paradigm formed? Paradigm is formed by what we constantly give to our conscious mind, which goes into our subconscious mind, which makes a belief, and those beliefs run our actions. Those actions create the results that we have. So if we are not happy with the results, if we are not happy with the results that we are getting, with the reality that we are in, what we need to do is we want to change our paradigm. How do we change our paradigms? We change it through a goal. As a very famous person once said, in the absence of clearly defined goals, humans become strangely loyal to daily trivia until ultimately they become enslaved by it. I think Joe Barger said it, and I think this is one of the greatest quotes that I've ever heard. In the absence of clearly defined goals, we become strangely loyal to daily trivia until we become ultimately enslaved by it. And we don't want to be that person. We don't want to drift. We want to create our awesome, the greatest dream life of ours through conscious attention, through using our power that is within us, our power that has made everything, the greatest creative foundational power in this world, our imagination, our consciousness. We want to use that power into creating the greatest dream life that we want to create. And I know you are a driven person, you are an ultra high agency person. If you think you are super intelligent, if you know everything, but if you're still not getting the results that you want, this is the video for you. We want to change our results. We don't want to have the knowledge anymore, just the knowledge anymore. We want to be more than the knowledge. We want to bring them into real life. So how do we do that? This part will tell. This is the most important part of the masterclass, I believe, because until and unless you have that one singular thing that you want the most and you have control attention over that, all of the knowledge that we get is again in superior knowledge, inferior results. We don't want superior knowledge, inferior results. We want superior knowledge and superior results. So I want you to think about your results today. I want you to think about how does the results look in your life. How is your company doing? How is the profit? How is it actually compared to what you think of? How is it actually? What does your body look like? Do you really have abs? Do you think you know everything about nutrition but you don't have abs? You don't look the way you want to live? Look, do you want that? No, you don't want that. So have a serious, honest look at your results. Do you look the way you want to look? Do you have the relationship that you want to have? Do you earn as much as you want to earn? Does your company help as many people as you want it to help? Is your core belief that you want to bring alive in this life, bring out in this life, really even working out? Or is it that you're just taking information without doing anything proper? So if someone is unaware of what he has to do in life, there's a question, guys, there's a question, I love the question. So if someone is unaware of what he has to do in life, yet so they are just busy in daily trivia. Yeah, I mean, doesn't it make sense? If you do not have a target, what is success? So we'll dive right into the masterclass. I think all this masterclass will already solve all of the questions that you guys can have. And this is the initial part of the masterclass itself, that is, what is success? Okay, let me continue to where I started. So I want you guys to look at serious look honestly towards your results. Are your results exactly where you want it to be? Are you living your greatest dream life? Because you can. I'm telling you, if you follow this master, I can guarantee you, I can literally guarantee you, not only it is possible, it is easy, and it can be effortlessly done. But you have to know, you have to think for yourself, are you living your dream life or not? Until you realize, until you at least see that you're not living your dream life, you cannot even move towards living your dream life. This is why you have to see first, are you living your dream life? Do you have the results? Because whatever results you have right now is governed by the belief that you have made your entire life. It's through the belief that you have had learned from the external environment, through the paradigm that you have. You don't want that. I don't want the light to be so bright. Why is that happening? I don't understand. Anyways, hi Anushka, hi Ojao. So we want to have a good look at our results. And now I want you to imagine, for once imagine yourself as being 10 times greater. How would you feel? How would you think? How would you act, express yourself if you had 10 times greater results than you have right now? If you were 10 times greater than what you are right now, how would you feel? How would you think of yourself? Imagine, just imagine, go there. There is a place. You being 10 times greater, there is a place. How do you look like? How do you look like? How, for example, how do I look like earning $100 million? Earlier I was wearing anything that I could get my hands on. Now I'm wearing better clothes. Things change when you think, when you go there. There is a place. Your dream, your greatest dream life is a place out there. It exists. So go there. Think of it once. Fall in love with it. Fantasize that idea. Romanticize it. It is beautiful. Go there. Look at it. And now and before we go on and fantasize the idea, I want you guys to remember the core idea of this masterclass. It is that we want to set our goals. It's basically why we set our goals, right? Before I even tell you guys what the importance of goal, I want you guys to remember, as we discussed in our first masterclass, why we set our goals. Because why is more important than how and what always. So you need to remember who you are right now. You have to remember your awareness already. You're already complete. There is nothing that can complete you more. You are perfect the way you are. Your spiritual DNA is perfect. The way you are, you have every knowledge that you need in this world. You have every power that you need in this world. Why you want to set the goals is to have a target to express the same energy better. So we're not trying to come from insecurity. We're not trying to fill anything. We are just imagining. We are dreaming. How would we live? How would we see ourselves if we were 10 times greater than we are right now? What would our results look like? Go there, at least think of it once. Sometimes we don't even start thinking because we are so consumed by the daily trivia, as the guy asking the question. We're so enslaved by the daily trivia, we don't even think of what we would love to live like, what life we would love to live. Right? You have to think, go there, imagine yourself as being 10 times greater. Think how would it look like? Because here's a great thought which I love a lot. It's not who you are that's stopping you from becoming the person that you want to become, from getting your dream results. It's who you think you are not. Get This is such a beautiful idea. It's not who you are that's stopping you from living your greatest dream life. It is who you think you are not. You have not formed a self idea of the person that you would want to become the most. Is the reason why you're not able to live your greatest dream life. You feel me? It's not who you are. What you are right now, it's a dead weight. It's not that which stops you. Dead weight keeps staying there as for as long as you want it to be there. It's who you have not become yet. It's who you think you're not. The newer, the greater person that is stopping you from living your greatest dream life. You have to think, feel, project, make, manifest in your imagination. Think about the person that you want to become. At least go there once. Think about your greatest dream life. How would you love to live? How much would you love to earn? How would you love to look? How many apps would you want? What weight would you be, what weight you would love to be on? You have to think about, massage that thought, massage that dream. Think about, go into a fantasy. You have, and then you have to take extreme ownership of your life. You have to be, you have, as we discussed in the first part of the masterclass, your awareness, everything is an illusion passing in awareness. Nothing can stick to you unless you want it to stick to you. You have to realize everything and anything that you do, you are in perfect control. You have that space to think. Now that you know the awareness thing, you cannot escape that. You have the space to think, and because you have the space to think, you have to think for yourself. You have to think of the greatest possible thing that you can do in this world and choose to do that instead of just responding to the current circumstance. And you have to take full ownership of your life. If you don't take full ownership of your life, what's the point of anything, right? You have to take full ownership of your life for what you want to become in this world. Unless you do that, it is very difficult for you to make a change. But you have to realize you're responsible for everything and you can create the greatest dream life that you want to create. Wow, man, good to see you practicing public speaking for long hours. Love it, man. It's my third hour. I totally love doing this, and this is what I have to do. Did you too manifest about how you would look after your transformation? Bro, I let's talk about my transformation. You guys have no idea how many edits I made of myself before the transformation, because this transformation wasn't about losing weight. I was a fat person all my life. You see, a fat person keeps doing the fat things. I I would binge eat all the time. I would do all the bad. I would keep on with all of the bad habits. I would never do my steps, never work out properly. I would go there but not stay there, because as long as my identity was of a fat person, nobody could truly take me to a fit place. But to actually do this transformation, just so you guys know, I have done over 11 trans. I was telling a friend yesterday, day before yesterday, I think I've done a total of 12 transformation, and it was the 11th and 12th that brought me to the shape that I am in. For the first 10 I failed because I was trying, I was thinking of myself as a fat person trying to become fit. And how can a fat person do the fit things, the had the fit habits? I had to change my self image. I had to tell myself I am a fit person. I had to tell myself I am a fit person. I have abs. I am the shredded person. I had to look like that. I had to imagine that. Stay in that imagination. I made edits of myself. The before and after videos that you have seen, I took the before videos because I wanted to take the photo and edit a at that time AI was not there, so I would take Pinterest app photos and stick it on my stomach so that I could see for myself how my face would look with abs. And that image I kept as my wallpaper. I set a goal, I made a visualization of how I wanted to be like, and then I burnt it into my subconscious mind. I, I looked at it over and over again every single day. When I went to bed, when I woke up, I looked at that image. And when I looked at that image, something in me changed, a flip switch, and I was like, I'm that person, and now I need to respect that body and act like that. So I changed myself in my mind first before I changed my habit, because I tried changing my habits for 6 7 years and it never happened. But I had to change who I am, and that changed everything. So I had to set a goal and think from there. And we have to realize, in the first part of the masterclass, we talked about how awareness is how we are awareness and everything is an illusion passing in awareness. So when people come to this point, in especially in Indian scriptures, Kisi, your voice is so soothing, dear. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Is this life? Yes, this is life. Thank you so much for joining. This is the this is the third scene of the day, third part of the masterclass. I'm talking about goals. So as we discussed in the first part of the masterclass, we are awareness. Everything is an illusion, passing in awareness. When a person comes to this point that I'm awareness, like I'm the infinite power, I am God, and everything that is happening, this body and all my habits, all my emotions are temporary things. It We come to a point where we're like, why do anything now? And it's a very valid thing to say, that if I am awareness, if I'm consciousness, and everything is an illusion passing in awareness, even if I earn $100 million, it's an illusion. It'll go away. It's a feeling. I'll feel happy and I'll feel sad again. I won't ever reach a perfect place of happiness. That does not exist. It's all an illusion. I will die at the end of the day. So it doesn't matter in the end. But why? So what do we do? Do we do nothing? Do we die? No, we don't die, right? We want to live. What we do is, when we realize that we are totally free and we're never going to reach a perfect happiness, but now no sadness is going to permanently affect us as well, we simply live our highest aspirations. We live the greatest life that we want to live. Why do we set our goals? Because they allow us to live our greatest lives. Goals allow us to express ourselves in the best way possible, and we want to do that. We want to live our best lives. We want to express ourselves in the best way possible. And I always talk about this. If I could help 10 people today and I only helped one person, why did I do that? If I could help 10 people, why did I not? If I could win a game today, why did I play bad and gave a half performance? We do all of this when we think we are ego, and we do things to complete ourselves. When this is our mindset, that if I get that, I'll be complete, and we think we are just an ego, and if we do something, we'll complete ourselves, we do bad things. In restlessness, in our egoic mind view, world view, we do things that are bad, and we don't even give our best. So you see, knowing ourselves as awareness liberates us to express our full without expecting anything back. When we do that, when we give our full without expecting anything back, we just express our energy. So goals help us express what we have the best in us, and when we simply express our best self, we love it. We all love. Think of the time when you had the goal last. Think of the time your voice shows your pure love. This, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. I've done 3 hours of stream with not many texts. I really appreciate the compliment. So think about the time when you had the goal the last time. Weren't you so disciplined? Weren't you so much more persistent? Didn't you love the feeling when you were going after something that you want with everything that you have? That is why we want to have a goal. Goals are great for the soul. Why don't you use your keyboard or screen to make session more interactive or interesting? Oh, okay. I'll do something. All right. My bad. So I have this note app that I've made. I've put this on the screen as well. It's basically what I'm reading from, but what to hide at this point, right? So I'll do that. So think of the time when you had your last goal. When you think of it, you realize that when you have goals, you express yourself better, and when you express yourself better, you love your life. Guys, remember, the point of everything is to express ourselves. We have one life, one 20, 30 years. If we don't express our energy to the best of our capability, then what is the point? You realize, you see, we want to express our highest energy, and that is why we want to have goals for our greatest expression. When we don't have a goal, we simply drift, and nobody likes drifting. We don't want to drift. Do you want to drift? I don't want to drift. When we don't have a goal, we don't have any motivation to have a positive attitude. We don't have any motivation to live a great life, to contribute to the world. Think, if someone is unaware of what that's a really great idea of manifesting about the Pinterest thing you said, but like I didn't. Right, so you want to have goals because they let you express the best in you, and you want to express the best in yourself because expression is fun. Remember, as I said, nothing in this world is going to complete you, but you just expressing yourself will give you the joy that nothing can ever give you. Because expression is the true joy. Expression is the true joy. Just so even in a scriptural philosophical what we read is that in Taoism or in Gita's philosophy, you have to allow your nature to express. This is I've read a lot of philosophy, and this is one thing that always comes as the conclusion of all of those, is that you have to allow your nature to express. Aristotle said you have to uh, everybody has this telos, the nature, and if they express themselves, they achieve the purpose of life. If there's a knife and you keep it there and you try to let's say smash a garlic with it, that's weird. But if you cut an apple with it, now the knife is being used. So you have a nature that you want it to be expressed. If you don't express it, you simply fail the purpose of life. And does it matter if you fail the purpose of life or not? No, you only feel bad if you don't fulfill the purpose of life. So if you want to feel good, just achieve the purpose of life, and the purpose of life is simply allowing your nature to happen. And think about how you spend your days, right? These days, how do you spend your days? Do you love spending your do you love the way you spend your days, or do you want to do something better? Do you love the way you live your life, or do you think you can do more, be more, enjoy life more? When you think that, you realize that goals without goals it is difficult to live the best life, because as I said, without the goals we get strangely attached to daily trivia, strangely attached to drifting, and we're not able to even live the way we want to spend our life. And of course, we have one life. We're not getting this life again, we're not getting this chance again. So what are we waiting for? There's no time to wait. You have to set a goal, and you have to set a goal now in this masterclass, whenever you're watching it, in the next whole century, or right now in this life. You have to set goals. And Earl Nightingale, what is success? I never talked about it, but if you go into Western literature, and if you read about the success literature of the Western philosophy, you realize the one great definition of success that has been ever given was that success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Earl Nightingale said it in The Stranger's Secret. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. What did he mean by that? Success is simply moving towards a goal that you love, that you think is worthy. You don't want to set a goal according to the society or according to anyone. You just set a goal according to what you think is worthy. And if you just move towards it, in fact, just knowing what you want the most is itself success. That is how simple being successful is. But we are so attached to daily TV, we never even think about what we want, what is worthy to us, what we love the most. Please answer if my question, if you have, sorry if I asked a question in Hindi, if you want to reply in English, you can. Ask any question, I'd love to answer. How would you feel? How would you feel if you had your goals? Now, as talked in the starting of the masterclass, you have to think about what you want, and you have to feel. How would you feel if you get there, right? People around you. How would the people around you feel if you get there? It's not just about you. Your goals are not just about you. You have to you have to think about how would people feel, how would your family feel if you achieve your goals? How would your friends feel if you achieve your goal? How would they see you? Would they see you the same way? Would they see you? Would they be more happy to see you thriving? That is why goals are important. Subconscious, and of course, as we talked in the last part of the master class, we have conscious mind and subconscious mind. Here's a great idea. Subconscious mind is like a garden, and it's upon you what you decide to plant in it. If and there's a beautiful story told by, I think it was Earl Nightingale or Napoleon Hill, I don't remember correctly, but he said that if you plant a nightshade, a poisonous plant, right next to the most beautiful flower in the same garden, they'll grow with same abundance. They'll grow with the same intensity. What does this mean? That Your ground, your mind is like a garden, and it does not care about what you plant in it. And this is so liberating because, guys, understand, you can literally plant the greatest idea that you want to plant in it, and it would grow it with the same abundance as it will grow the average thoughts that you have. So think, that is, this is why we want to think about how we want to spend our days, how we want to live our life, what we want to achieve in our lives, because your subconscious is infinitely powerful. Your subconscious mind is infinitely powerful, and if you give it the right things, if you give it your greatest dream, it's going to return to you the greatest results. But if you never think what's the great if you never think the greatest thing that you want in this life, how can you ever expect of getting it back? Wright brothers had to think of making the plane. That's why we have planes right now. Scientists had to think of making these phones. That is why we have these phones right now. We have to think of great possibilities. We have to, until we think, we get nothing. And it's a big problem in India, especially. People get so spiritual, people forget that this material world matters. It is important. You have to think about what you want. asked the father of space sciences what will it take to get to the moon. He said the will to do it, the desire to do it. So you do not need to know the resources or how you'll get it done. You just have to want it. What you truly want, dream of it, fantasize it, imagine it, and write down 30 things that you want. Second thing that I want you to remember in this goal setting process is that there are three types of goals that you can set: A, B, C. A is the type of goal that you've already achieved and that you know you can achieve again. For example, I've already achieved abs and I know I can achieve it again if I get fat. That would be step A type goal. You don't want to set that. Then comes the B type goal. What is a B type goal? Hi. A type goal is something that you've already achieved and that you can achieve again. You don't want to set that goal. There's B type goal. B type goal is something that is a little out of your comfort zone, but you know if somebody does that, if somebody gives you the money, you can do that. If somebody helps you do that, you can do that. It's a little out of your comfort zone, but you know if you got that a little bit help from the outside, you'd get it easily. B type goal, you don't want to do that either. C type goal is where you stretch. C type goal is a goal which you truly want, but you don't know how you'll get it, but you truly want it. You love it. You want to create a life which you love, right? You want to fall in love with your life. You want to live a life. We have only one life. We want to love it. We want to love living it. We want to love living our life, right? C type goal is the goal that you would love to have. C type want is the want that you would love to have. It is something that stretches you. It is something you don't know how you'll get there, but you would love to have it. For example, for me, the C type goal was getting a Bugatti Tourbillon, making $100 million a year. I don't know how I'll get there, and this is where you also practice your second, uh, your higher faculty that I mentioned in the second part of the masterclass, intuition. When setting your goals, you'll come to a point where you will feel like you can achieve a lot of things, but you have to finalize a thing, and your higher faculty, intuition, will tell you that although you could do anything in this world and there are infinite possibilities, it's your intuition that will tell you which is the most important thing that you want to do. For example, you could you could earn $100,000, $1 million, $10 million, $100 million, $1 billion, $1 trillion. Your intuition will tell you what you truly want to get, because your spirit knows everything. Your subconscious mind is the mind of the world. It knows everything. It knows your true nature. So if you want to when you'll be finalizing your goals, it's your intuition that will help you, and that you have to trust. When you'll set that, you'll feel like, oh, it's going to be completely impossible, illogical. You don't want to listen to the logical mind right now. Conscious mind is the logical mind. We don't want to listen to the conscious mind. We want to dream. We want to listen to our intuition. We want to live. We want to listen to our greater voice, our bigger voice, our subconscious voice, your true nature. We want you to live your highest aspiration. We want you to live your greatest dreams. So think, imagine, feel, fantasize, and write down 30 goals, and let most of them be C type goals. I don't want every one of them to be C type goal, but write as many C type goals as you want. Once you are done with this, what is the second step of finalizing your goal? You prioritize those goals from 1 to 10. You divide those goals into three lists: A, B, and C. A being the most important. B, this is not about A type, B type, C type goals. You just divide them into three lists. A being the most important goals, 10 goals. B being the second most important 10 goals. C being the third most important 10 goals. When you've written down all your 30 goals, now you want to prioritize them: C 1 to 10, B 1 to 10, D A 1 to 10. And when you are done with that, take your time. It can take a week, it can take a day, it can take a month, it can take a year. But trust me, however long time you spend into it, you will be equally rewarded. You'll be rewarded in proportion that will be completely insane for you to understand. Goal setting is the greatest thing that you can ever do in your life. Trust me, nothing will come closer to reaping you more benefits than doing this activity. So you want to write down your 30 goals, divide them into three lists: A, B, and C. Divide them 10 goals into each of those lists and prioritize them from 1 to 10. Once you've done that, you need to finalize your A1 goal. Now, after having done this exercise for a day, after a day, month, or year, or 2 3 months, I don't want it for you to take a year. But after once you're done with it, you will be left with your A1 goal. Now, this is your greatest dream. Now, this is something that you want the most in life. For me, it was Bugatti 2 Beyond. That's what I love the most in life. That's the car I want to have. I sort of even wanted it more than my body. So you want to take that A1 goal and write it on a new piece of paper and burn the rest of the goals. Now you might feel that is crazy. I really wanted all the 30 things as well. But this is the crazy thing. Once you have realized the A1 goal, you need to understand that A2 to C30, C10, all of the goals eventually automatically get fulfilled when you pursue that A1 goal. But you have to figure out what you want the most in life. But you have to figure out the goal that you want the most in life. If you do not go after what you want, guys, remember, we can only direct our energy to one thing at a time. If your attention is still diluted, it is very difficult to succeed. You have to figure out that A1 goal. Once you figure out that A1 goal, you have to keep the other goals aside. You have to write down the A1 goal on the other piece of paper, burn the rest of the sheet. Trust the universe that all the goals will happen in the path of you achieving this A1 goal. And if this is small and it happens before that, then you can take one of those goals, A2 goal, and then achieve it and then burn everything else as well. But you can only pay attention to one thing. For example, I've had this Bugatti goal honestly from 7 8 years. No, sorry, at least 3 years, right? This body came as a side effect. I was never truly serious about my body. It came as a side effect of working on my first goal. So the A1 goal is what you want to know, what you want to get to know at all costs. You want to know what is the A1 goal. Once you have realized your A1 goal, now you're the top elite 0.001%. Now you're one of the greatest people in the world. Now you're successful. Just knowing what you want has now made you different than 90%, 99.999% of the majority. You're already 100,000 billion steps ahead of anyone. Welcome to the elite club. Welcome to the private elite billionaire club. Congratulations. This is the greatest thing that you could have ever had. Now we'll talk about how we'll achieve that. Remember that there is a frequency. This is a goal, it exists there. Now when you finally set this goal, you were here, you thought of this goal, you imagined this goal, and you went here. Remember, we are a mass of energy vibrating at a certain frequency. We function on the level of frequency. Everything is vibration, everything is connected to each other. Quantum entanglement, when one thing moves at this point of universe, the other point of the universe of same thing moves in the same pattern. Everything is connected to each other. Everything is vibrating at a certain frequency. You are vibrating at this frequency at your present result. You want this result. When you want this result, when you thought of this, you went there, your frequency went there. But 2 minutes later, you're back here again. What we want is, we want to make this thought, this our dominant thinking. This is what we want from this goal setting masterclass. If you could only take, this is the third great idea of this masterclass, if you could only take this one idea home, I'll tell you this changed my life the most, right? Only accept what you want to accept. Reject we talk about this, I talk about discipline in the last part of the masterclass, but discipline is so important. But discipline is not what people think about. We try to discipline our external actions without ever changing our image, and it never works out. We come back to our old self-image, and we hate doing, and we complain that it never worked out. I thought it would work out, it never worked out. because we never change our programming. We want to discipline our thoughts. If we can do this one thing in this life, we want to discipline our thoughts. We want to accept only the thing that we want to accept. We want to accept only the thing, only the goal that we want to have in this world, on only the information that helps us get this goal. For example, I say I want to make $100 million, and somebody else comes and says to me that economy is very bad. I reject that information. Remember, we have a conscious intelligent brain. I can reject information. If I see a series where it's all about sadness, uh, crashing of economy, I can reject that. I can reject to watch that. And if I cannot reject that, I can still, if I cannot go away from that in external life, I can still ignore them in the real life and think in my mind of great thoughts. By taking my dominant thinking there, that I'm earning $30,000 an hour, I'm earning $100 million a year, I make my subconscious mind comfortable at this new place. There is a place right now, because you are vibrating here, doing these action is uncomfortable. But when you keep going here, but when you keep massaging this thought, when you keep feeding your subconscious with the affirmation, how do we do that? How do we build this new program? How do we operate from here? We do it from elite coaching. We do it from auto suggestion. We say, I am so happy and grateful that I'm earning $100 million a year and I love it. I'm so happy and grateful that people are paying me $100 million a year and I love it, and I'm providing equal service back in return, and I'm so proud of it. As I keep saying it, our old paradigm puts up a royal fight. It does not want me to go there because I was so comfortable living the life that I was living, just exercising, having fun, uploading on Instagram. It fights back. But as I keep auto suggesting myself, as I keep saying I'm so happy and grateful that I'm earning $100 million a year, and I love it. I love seeing $100 million in my bank account. I love people paying me $30,000 every hour. I love people paying me $10,000 for coaching. I love having the greatest coaching business in the world. I love being the greatest motivation speaker in the world. As I keep saying, as I keep being saying that this again and again, slowly my old paradigm weakens to fight. It still fights. It still fights. It still stops me from acting like $100 million person. But now it weakens because I've burned this idea in my mind so badly. Now it is scared. Now I have become stronger than the old paradigm. Because I've become stronger than the old paradigm, now it loses power over me. Now I am at a free place. Now I can vibrate at this frequency. And now when things change, this becomes my new home. This should become your new home. Your greatest dream life should become your new home. How do you do that? You do that through auto suggestion, repetition, and elite coaching. Talking to a person who has achieved that you want to what you want to achieve. Nothing changes you more than seeing the results that you want with the other person. Nothing changes you more. Your brain suddenly gets shocked and think like, oh, this is possible. And because this is possible, I can do it as well. So you want to know, first of all, know what is the greatest thing that you want in life, what is your greatest dream, and then go there, make that your dominant way of thinking. High dose cinema. When we auto suggest ourselves, we are changing our paradigm, we are changing our identity slowly and slowly. Thoughts, feeling, and action. You have to realize our subconscious mind is formed by thoughts. First we think, then it goes into a subconscious mind where we feel, how we feel about life, how we think about life. And as that changes, as the subconscious mind changes, after all the repeated emotions, that repeated thoughts that we have given, the, by which our wants become into desires, our want becomes into a natural home. That is that switch in vibration, that switch in frequency leads to different actions, and that actions, those new actions create new results. So thoughts, you control your thoughts. Thoughts create feeling. Feeling creates movement, natural movement. We want the movement to be natural. We don't want to force external discipline. We want to have a natural discipline, natural action. Natural action then creates external results. Energy is everything. Even Einstein said this, right? Money is not, because why I talk about this thought and feeling is because You need to talk because we all have a paradigm, and it also shapes how. Remember how I said in the last part of the masterclass, paradigm controls how we perceive the world. When I say the word I'm 100 crores, do you feel uncomfortable or do you feel comfortable? When I see, when I say 1,000 pull up workout, do you feel excited or do you feel I hate that? Your paradigm controls your perception, your feelings, your user time, your memory, your ability to earn money, your ability to exercise, your ability to exert your energy. If you have a bad paradigm, you won't perceive the things in a good way, the way you want to achieve. But if you were to say, I am so happy and grateful that I have a great body which I work on relentlessly because I love it. Now if somebody says let's do 1,000 pull-up workout, you get excited even if that was not supposed to be done. So you want to get comfortable with the things that you want to get, and you do that by changing your paradigm first. Because even if you did the right actions, and if you think you're a poor person, if I give you big money, 100 crores rupees, you would feel uncomfortable because you don't even know how to manage it. And this is the truth. Poor people do not even know how to manage big money. I'm not even rich, and I've spent so much time learning about investments that if you give me literally $1 billion, I know exactly where to invest that. How much I have to put in index fund, how much I have to put in T bills, government bills, how much I have to put in real estate, how much do I have to put in metals, how much do I have to put in cryptocurrency, what's the ratio, how I want to manage my basket. And I've never even made that type of money, but I know how much does a private plane, how much does a private jet cost? Do you know that? How much does a Gulfstream 650 ER cost? Do you know that? I know that. I know it very well. $35 million. It starts around $35 million. The running cost of a private jet is around $5 million. Fixed charges, fixed expenses, $2 million. Variable expenses. It takes around $7 to $9 million to run a private jet. I know those things because I've imagined myself being there. And when that comes, it'll be very comfortable for me. What car, what Bugatti do I want to buy? What model do I want to buy? What color do I want to buy? And do I want to buy a first hand Bugatti? But that is not available. All Bugattis are already booked. Do I want to buy a second hand Bugatti? Where do I get that? Which sheikhs have that? Where is the showroom in the Miami where I'll get it? Where do I want to live in Miami? Where do I want to live in Miami? Where exactly do I want to live in the downtown? What is downtown called? Brickell. Do I want to live in the countryside? Downtown. Do I want to live in the middle? I want to live in the middle. There are not many places in the middle. So I researched a lot. I found the roads. I love the roads. What kind of a house do I want? How high do I want the ceilings of it to be? You have to think about these things. You have to get comfortable being around the greatest things that you want in order to be able to manifest it, in order to be able to get closer to that. Because if you do not feel comfortable around it, even if I do give you the money, you would just throw it away. This is the brutal truth of life. So you want to get comfortable around the things that you want, and you just do that by thinking about it first, which is free. Your greatest power in the world, imagination and thinking, is free. So you want to exercise it. You want to know your greatest dream and completely become one with it. You want to fuse with your goal. Second greatest part of the martial arts is that you want to fuse with your goal. You want to enter the spirit of it. You want to become one with it. You don't want to see your goal as another entity outside of you. You want to feel one with the goal. There is no point seeing the goal outside of you. You are one with the goal. As I said, my goal doesn't lie 1,000 days after. I'm living like a centimillionaire right now. I'm living like I'm earning $100 million right now. Even if I don't get it, I'll be the happiest because I lived my dream life right now. And if you can live your dream life right now, why would you wait for 1,000 days? This is why being successful is progressive realization of a worthy ideal. You're successful the moment you set your goal. And the funny thing is, the world does not know what they want, and that is such a crazy thing. You want to know your goal and live it from right today, and you are living your greatest dream life. That's the most beautiful thought I've ever heard in my life, and I love that. and I practice that. If I don't practice that, I wouldn't be speaking all of this. So you want to fuse with your goal, you want to enter the spirit of it, and you want to kill your logic at this point. Logic is amazing, reason is the power we have as humans, but you don't want logic to come into this goal setting process. Goal setting process has to be done from a higher faculties. You have to listen to your intuition, listen to your dreams. You, as Steve Jobs said it very clearly, dots connect looking backward. You will never know how you will get there. You can never know how you will get there. But as you think of your goal, as you impress it upon the world, upon the subconscious mind, it brings, as you set your goal starts moving towards you. As you impress it over the world, the subconscious mind, it brings that goal towards you. The nature, the world conspires your goal to move towards you when you set a goal. And commit to it. Commit to it. And then you only have to take your actions, your best. Then you just have to do what you love to do to the best of your capability, that you always want to do. You always had something in you that you wanted to express. Your goal, you're just setting a target, will allow you to express yourself to the best of your capability. And expressing yourself to the best of your capability, only you love. Nobody will become happier by you expressing your best more than you. There's nothing more fulfilling thing that you can do than expressing all your talent to the maximum of your capability. So you want to uh, express your talents to the maximum capability. You do it through setting the A1 goal and fusing with it, entering the spirit of it. You don't want to listen to your logic. Logic is stupid because you, when you think from logic, you think from present circumstance. You think that I don't have the talent to do that, I don't have the resources to do that. But who are you? You form 0.001% of the world. 99%, 99.999% of the things you do not control, but all of those things will affect your goal setting, your goal achieving process. If you had set a goal 20 years ago, did you know internet would come, ChatGPT would come? You never knew these things. Things will change. So if you set goal logically from present circumstances, you are stupid, because 3 years later things are going to become so easier. You never considered that your logic was flawed. So your logic is simply flawed. So do not think from logic when you set your goals. You have to set your dream goals and let the dots connect backwards, looking backwards. Steve Jobs. Let's say you really wanted to earn $1 million. You have to realize that the $1 million is a place that wants to move to you. And you have to realize that you have to think of it like there's a person, an X entity out there that is wanting to give you that goal to you, but he'll only give you if your actions match the frequency of the goal, if your actions match the level of the goal that you want. So would you say that if you wanted $1 million, you're acting enough, you're expressing enough of your talent to get that? Ask yourself, do these thoughts make you comfortable, uncomfortable? Right. Let me see if I've missed something or not. Yeah, and I would like to end the I would like to end the goal part of the masterclass by this quote, which I made sure I would say in this video. It said, it's like, any idea held in the mind that is emphasized, feared, or revered will begin at once to clothe itself in the most convenient and appropriate physical form available. This is, if you could take this one thing from this life and nothing else, it would change your life like anything. Controlled attention. Any idea held in the mind that's emphasized, feared, or revered will begin at once to clothe itself in the most convenient and appropriate physical form available. And will the higher faculty that we talked in the second part of the masterclass, If you hold one idea in your mind on the exclusion of any other idea for long enough time, it will slowly start to clothe into appropriate physical form available, in the most convenient and appropriate physical form available. If you hold an idea in your mind on the exclusion of every other idea for long enough time, if it's emphasized, it will clothe itself into the most convenient physical form available. Everything is vibration. Everything is everything functions on the level of frequency. Everything is vibrating. If you vibrate on the frequency of the thing that you want, it will come close to you. If likes flock together, you cannot stay away from what you feel your home is. You have to take control of the flow of your energy. And you can't oppose me in this, because I want you to ask yourself, you had 24 hours in the day. Did you spend all those hours creating something that you want to, that you're creating your greatest dream life, or did you spend it drifting? You all know the answer. If you if you think this is all fluff, this is not true, ask yourself, what did you do with your day? What did you do with the infinite energy that is flowing in and out of you constantly? Did you use all of the energy that was going in and out of you with the purpose of achieving your goal? Or did you drift, or did you let external circumstances guide your actions? We have so much room of improvement. If we connect even 50% of our actions to the thing that we want, we can make such big quantum leaps that we cannot even think of. But are we doing that? Are we taking control of the flow of the energy that is going in through us, in and out all the time? I don't think we are. I at least am not. I write it down every single day if I gave my absolute best or not, and I every day lag by 10 or 20%. Even today, I've done 3 streams. I've read so much. I've written so much. I've read so much books. I've done my workout. I've eaten the right things. I've loaded my tracks. But still, in the morning, first 2 hours I wasted in confusion. So I still lagged, still slacked off, still wasted 2 hours. So I've still not achieved my 100%. And I want to achieve my 100%. 100% is important. Because simply, guys, if I can express the best of mine, why do I not? Because I know when I do express the best of myself, I always feel better. So are you expressing the best of your talents, best of your interests, best of your capability, best of your capacity? Are you honoring the intelligence that you have? Are you acting stupidly, or are you honoring the intelligence? That this is the question that hits home to me. I know you are all ultra driven, ultra high agency people. Are you honoring the potential that you have? Up till now, you do not know how to do this. Now, I've told you the way. Set a goal that you love, set a goal that you want more than anything else, and do the best that you can today that you think will take you there. You don't have to get there, you don't have to be perfect. Just do what you think is the best that you can do. Just doing that much will give you more happiness than any achievement anything can ever give you. But for all of this, the second part of the masterclass, you have to make a decision. You have to irrevocably commit to the decision. If you do not make a decision, nothing happens. Decision making is the most important skill, for me at least. Like, it is top, at the top, the most important skill in the world for me. You have to commit to your goal irrevocably. I've set goals 100 times, but I've never committed to it like I committed to this Bugatti goal now. And because I've said it everywhere, now I have no option but to do that. Right? I have to do that. I've taken a screenshot of your question, brother. I'll answer that, but I won't wrap this masterclass up. See, oh, bro, this sounds crazy, but actually, I was trying to make my schedule according to my dream for like past 2 weeks, and today I'm randomly seeing a stream on the same fucking topic. It's like university. That is what I'm saying, dude. We do not control 99% of the world. Things come to us automatically, and that is why it's so beautiful. If we set our goals from a current understanding, it never works out. We are only 0.1% of the cog in the big machine. When we rotate ourselves, everything rotates for us. Beautiful miracles come from everywhere.